Good afternoon. This is Raul Rivera with Color-Based Solar Solutions. Join us today for another episode of Thank Goodness It's Solar Saturday. And today's episode, we'll be covering why it's so important to go solar today. So many times people ask us, is this the right time to go solar? Should I wait for new technology? Is the price going down? What's going to happen next year? When we look at today's economy, when we look at today's market, there has never been a better time to go solar than today. But with the ever-changing conditions of today's market, it is not only the best time, it is crucial that if you ever thought about this, if you ever been looking into it, that you make the decision and you go solar now. There are so many factors happening today that are going to be increasing the cost of solar that to wait until next month, to wait until next year, it's going to cost you a lot of money. People ask, how come? What's changed? The technology keeps improving. The technology keeps getting better. But at this point, the cost of labor, the cost of insurance, all of the other costs associated with the installation are actually increasing faster than the technology is improving. So not going solar today can cost you lots of dollars. And for everybody trying to make the decision, should I go solar and should I go solar today, there are many factors in the market today that can help you make that decision and can point you in the direction that today is the best day to go solar. This year, we have seen the biggest, largest increase in raw materials. And we see those costs increasing in the future also. So again, the raw material cost, the increase for the raw materials, is going to cause the cost of solar to increase. The savings that you're experiencing when you go solar are going to increase tremendously. And the cost, the pain of not going solar is also going to increase. As recent as last month, we have seen private utility companies like the co-ops, TGISS Electric, so close to home, increase their rates by 43%. And those rate increases are coming to everybody else at the end of this year. TGISS Electric was forced to implement an immediate increase of 43% because of the high cost of fuel. You're all seeing the high cost of fuel in your fuel tanks when you fill up your cars every week at the pump. Well, the utility companies are experiencing the same thing. Natural gas is at an all-time high. The utility companies, when they actually make the prices for the year, when they join with the Public Service Commission and they come up with a price for the year, are guaranteed a certain percentage of profit. Therefore, during this year, when we have seen 120% increase in fuel costs, those utility companies will go to the Public Service Commission in November and they'll be allowed to recoup that cost. So that increase in fuel that they're paying today, every kilowatt hour you're using today is going to cost you 120% more by the end of this year. And those costs are guaranteed. They don't have to ask permission. Those costs are guaranteed. So the only way for you to prevent this huge hike in your electric bill is to go solar today and reduce your kilowatt consumption that you purchase from the utility company. Produce your own kilowatts. The less kilowatt hours you buy from the utility company, the more money you're going to save. We have seen the Biden administration postpone for 2 years the ruling on the tariffs that were imposed by the last administration. Many manufacturers are already ramping up production and trying to fill the gap in the market that we've seen over the past few months, but we're still experiencing unseen shortages and supplies. And this delay to rule on the tariffs is only going to increase the price 2 years down the line. Basically, what the Biden administration is being asked is to rule whether the materials coming from countries like Thailand and Korea should have tariffs or should be tariff-free. Most manufacturers today, even when they're making their products in the US, are getting the raw materials from countries like Korea and Thailand. And if those countries lose the free tariffs that they have today, then that's only going to increase the cost for the raw materials. There's no better time than today to make the investment. The savings you're going to enjoy are only going to substantially increase from what they are today. But more importantly, the cost of not going solar today is going to substantially increase. You know, putting a big tight grip on your budget, because we have not seen this type of fuel price increases in the last 30 years. At the end of this year, anything that is not installed by December 31st of this year, 2022, there should be a federal tax credit that reduces from 26% of your investment to 22%. And then after 2023, that is going to also go away. So when you take away the tax credits that are associated today, go from 26% to 22%, that's an immediate 4% increase on the cost of solar. The equipment is not going to level off in price enough to offset that. So again, there's no better time than today. To answer all the questions that we've been getting, this is the best time to go solar. In 30 years, we have not seen the increases in prices in the equipment and or the cost of fuel. That cost of fuel is going to directly impact your electric bill today. Like I mentioned before, we've already seen Florida Keys Electric raise their prices by 43%. And the public utility companies that service our areas are also feeling the same increases, and then we're passing those cost increases to you. So when you look at the federal tax rebate going down to 22%, the ever increasing cost of fuel, causing your electricity to cost more, the tariffs that might be imposed on most solar products by the end of next year, and the cost of labor, insurance, and other soft costs associated with the installation, the only thing that we see on the market is increasing cost of solar. Avoid those increases by going solar today and enjoy the added savings of eliminating your kilowatt consumption, so that when the public utility companies at the end of this year hit everybody with a 40-50% increase on their rates, you are not affected. This is Raul Vergara with Color-Based Solar Solutions. Let the sun power your lifestyle.